You know, out there are some heroes who go on to rescue their fellow man when they are trapped in a burning building. There are some heroes that go out and save children when they're tied up at the railroad tracks before they get hit by a train. And then there are heroes like me that have to talk about things that are generally disliked by the internet. And this is clearly not some kind of hyperbole or overreaction of some kind, no. Simply because I have to waste my time talking about something like Sonic the Hedgehog, that means that no one has it harder than I do.
Alright, you can calm down there, Skeeter.
The holiest gamer you ever met. So angry he's now drowning in sweat. He'd rather have an atheist try to fight him and then pelt him with shoes. He'd rather eat a piece of corn and then choke while trying to drink some grape juice. He's the holiest gamer you never heard. He's really against using bad words. He's the crackerist. Wait, that's not even a word. He's the Christian video game nerd.
Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the most excellent superheroes ever created. He can run faster than the speed of sound and take out enemies in a flash. Since 1991, anyone who owned a Sega Genesis/Mega Drive played his games to D-word. Except for me. My parents taught me that video games are actually murder simulators, and Fox News told me that Microsoft is woke because they have this built-in thing into their machines that, saves energy. Yeah, right. Now, in the very limited amount of research that I did for this video, apparently this blue hedgehog fellow with the red sneakers and the love for drive-in fast food chains apparently has a very large fan base. Though, apparently, members of said fan base would say this is still not a very liked game. Let's just find out for ourselves. Let's go in blind and see what it's all about. This is Vote Sonic 06. First of all, this game has a problem I've experienced with many other games I've tried to play. All two of them. I tried putting it into my DVD player, and I get some error message on my screen, whatever that means. Great, what am I supposed to do now? After doing some research, I realized I needed a device called an Xbox 360 to play this version of the game. Oh, yeah, like I'm made of that kind of money, and all of a sudden I need to buy some kind of machine to play a game? That's not how they used to do things back then. Don't they know what kind of financial crisis we're living in? I can't afford such luxuries. I mean, I can, but just for the sake of making myself seem more relatable, I'm going to say that I can't. So after we get that kerfuffle squared away, we can finally talk about the game. First, we begin with some Princess Amidala, or whatever her name is. Soon, a bald man in glasses, who I can only assume is Andrew Tate with a cat mustache, shows up with an army of Matrix robots. When in that instance, Sonic shows up. Yes, because this character design really fits this world with realistic-looking people and everything. And immediately after saving her from the egg-headed man, she is kidnapped by his giant robot things. And for some reason, the effects look much worse than they did earlier. What happened? Then after that, we get one of this game's many loading screens. Many people have complained about this, though I honestly can't see why. It's in no way frustrating to simply walk 2 steps and immediately get hit in the face with a loading screen. Then again, I don't regularly play video games. Like, at all. Ever. So if anything, I found these loading screens an ample opportunity to do other things like go to the bathroom, get a drink, get a snack, watch a movie, pay my taxes. Pretty much anything other than actually playing the game. Another thing I have noticed are all the instances where you have to go around helping townspeople with mundane tasks. These serve as mini-games, as they're called, though personally I like to refer to them as filler. Again, do any of these things look like they connect in any way? You have average middle-aged men in polo shirts and khakis, royal guards with steam-powered punk rock hats, and cartoon animals that talk, all in the same universe. How do these things connect? Just a few of these mundane tasks include testing out shoes, helping this man find the captain of the Royal Guard, only to find out that he is in fact the captain, finding hiding children, retrieving a lost dog. Why are we doing any of this? I mean, does this really add much to the whole grand rescuing Princess Rosalina or whatever her name is storyline? After about 8 hours, I finally realized you're supposed to jump across this body of water, float across this pattern of golden rings, and jump into the beginning of the game. You know, like a real hedgehog would. Then Sonic and his friend, who is a fox with 2 tails, yeah, because those totally exist, end up on a beach, running around loops and destroying robots. I would say this is too difficult for me, but I got to say, it's actually pretty easy. All you do is press forward or another random button on the controller, and then it's like the game just does everything for you. And then when you actually play as the 2-tailed fox, simply known as Tails, his attack is simply throwing fake dummy rings, as they call it, instead of, I don't know, swinging his tail to hit the robots or something like that. No, throwing fake rings, making it more confusing when there are plenty of real rings that you're supposed to collect because they give you more lives or something. Why would this ever be an attack? Halfway through this part, you have to keep this whale from escaping for some reason, as if we are no longer playing Sonic, but we are in fact playing a game based on that 90s film Free William. Once you use Tails to shut the gate on him, this area closes out with Sonic running really fast, most of the time running right into things that are in your way.
And while it would be easy to say Chris is just being incompetent, the game's controls are so busted, you will spend most of these Mach speed segments running into things in your way. If this was their way of implementing speed into their Sonic game, they really mishandled it.
So our dynamic duo decide to follow this giant spaceship in the sky, thinking that Princess Peach might be on it. They follow it into this ring that voips them to ancient Egypt. After squaring off against a giant robot unicorn dog that has Darth Maul's lightsaber on his head, we've successfully rescued Princess Zelda. Then you carry her while running around these ancient Roman Greco ruins and fighting more robots. After a while, it just becomes laughable. You look so ridiculous fighting off these automated enemies while still holding on to this girl. But whatever you do, do not step into sand without making this force field around you. For some reason, sand seems to be this hedgehog's weakness. You know, that and water. He really doesn't do with either of those two things.
Feels great, doesn't it?
Yes, I've never run so fast before.
Nothing starts until you take action. If you have time to worry, then run.
Oh, come on now. This is just blatantly ripping off the romantic sand talk between Anakin and Padme from Attack of the Clones. You know, the best Star Wars movie. Come on, game. Have you no shame? I can't believe they would do such a thing. Once all of our heroes return to the town, a silver hedgehog with owl feathers on his forehead shows up and challenges Sonic to a duel. This is where things get really hard. And for once, this isn't just because I'm really bad at video games. Every time you get really close to him, he uses some kind of telepathy to freeze you in place and throw you into the side of buildings. You know, like a real hedgehog would. Also, this is just more blatant copying of the Star Wars prequels, okay? That's something Darth Vader would do. I can't believe they didn't think no one would notice these comparisons. You have to keep moving so the silver hedgehog does not get you, but he'll often go out of frame and he'll spring up right on you. And that will get you more and more hurt, losing more chances to continue. Please have some mercy. To defeat the silver boss in Sonic 06, you must keep your distance, wait for him to prepare an attack, and then hit him once before retreating. Use his slide kick or homing attack to damage him when he's vulnerable, and after about 6 hits he will be defeated. Avoid combo attacks as Silver will be likely to grab you. Okay, so I got past all of this stuff without any help. Take my word, but do not quote me on that. Well, after all of that, the Twilight Princess gets abducted yet again.
Typical male-dominated video game industry. The female, the princess, has to be the prize, the trophy that the male character has to get by the end of the game. Typical casual sexism in the video game industry, obviously.
Oh, hi, my fellow straw man. Listen, would you be interested in playing this game by any chance? Because part of me really doesn't want to keep playing this.
What? Oh, God, hell no. I don't play video games. I don't even like video games, let alone Sonic the Hedgehog. I just like going around and telling other people that their enjoyment of hobbies that I don't understand makes them bad people compared to me.
Well, color me surprised. I do as well. For once, my snowflake friend, we actually have something in common. So now Sonic has to rescue her from the bald robot engineer man's headquarters. To find a VoIP portal to get you there, you need to run all around the town and find a hidden area. Time is of the essence, buddy. Maybe we don't need a whole section where we simply just look for portals? It's not helped when half of the time, things just appear out of thin air whenever you move. It's really creepy after a while. Same goes for the camera, which either bumps into non-existent walls or jitters every time you simply hit a curb.
Hey, would you be surprised to learn this game was rushed to meet a deadline for both the Christmas shopping season and the 15th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise? Because it really shows with the amount of glitching in the game.
Once you finally find a portal, Sonic and his friends end up on this snow-covered mountain area, or an acropolis as they call it. Sonic appears on a snowboard, and once again, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You think simply going downhill on a snowboard would be an easy maneuver, but no. You either go in a completely different direction that you're not supposed to go in, or you move incredibly slow. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure there's a thing called gravity, okay? It's basic science. You would think that something like this would be rather exciting, getting to go downhill on a snowboard, but no, they somehow found a way to mess that up too. Anyway, they face off against the science twist Dr. Robot Nicholas. But before Sonic, Tails, and this red creature with giant hands called Knuckles can do anything, they are teleported into the future. Okay, where is any of this going? Once they end up in what I can only assume is 2020, they meet up with even more animal characters. This time, a bat named Rogue and a black and red hedgehog called Shadow. Okay, I admit to knowing very little about this series, but seriously, how many characters do we have here? Between a two-tailed fox, and a echidna with giant fists, a bat with breastises, and now 3 hedgehogs that just so happen to have a name that starts with the letter S, I have no idea of what's even going on. And clearly that is the game's fault and not my lack of knowledge, okay? Research and looking things up ahead of time is lame and overrated. Anyway, Sonic has to traverse across this dystopian future with fire boiling the city streets and buildings that appear to be floating in air half of the time. After doing some more research, I managed to get past this area, but then we get to yet another one of these super fast sections, and this is where I just called it quits. I could not keep going. Not only is it insanely difficult to not get hit by things when they are wittually being thrown at you, I just could not take it anymore. I hear that this isn't even remotely close to the ending of the game as well. We're not even at the halfway point. So you know what? Just forget it. I'm done. We're done. It's done. So that was Sonic Part 6, Return of the Jedi, and overall, I just couldn't finish it. Now do you see why we rarely talk about video games on The Captivating Christian? Not only are video games ruining the moral fabric of society, but when you really sit down and think about it, this game is actually a hell allegory. For you see, this game constantly forces you into a purgatory-like state with the town, constantly doing menial, pointless tasks that don't really do anything or go anywhere, before shoving you off to a horrible afterlife of pain and suffering with the main areas of the game that are just so tedious and hard to understand, to the point where it feels like your soul is being dropped into the 7th level of hell, or something. I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't really like this game. I don't know. Most of my knowledge of Sonic comes from watching Matt Walsh's Sonic 3 review, so... Well, enough of that. Next time, let's just go back to basics and talk about a movie or a TV series or something I'm at least familiar with. Well, whatever that may be, until next time, may Jesus be with you.
Bye.